We'll start this again. Hopefully it stays up this time. Wait. All right. Right back where we left off. That's nice. All right, now let's see. I'm definitely gonna want a couple of these. Do 3. The dark energy.
Our queen. Our queen.
Oh no. What?
Our queen.
You clean?
No, green.
Green.
Yeah.
What about it?
They are blue.
Oh, you go see. Go lay down on the couch. Not bad. This is probably the strongest card in the deck, okay? The dark energy ship. Sorry. I think this should be a support. Curse the enemy for 2 turns and exile a card from your enemy's discard pile. Search for a card in your exile pile and place it at the top of your deck. So any card in the exile pile, you can place it right on top of your deck and be able to pull it in the next turn. And your enemy is cursed for 2 turns. What does cursed do, you may ask? It does, here at the bottom, enemy cannot use storage energy points while cursed. Trust me, it's a big deal. I got hit with it last night and couldn't do anything.
Daddy, where is go?
I don't know.
Where's the baby carrot?
Yeah.
That's so cute.
Mm-hmm. I got hit with it last night towards the end. You can't rejuvenate your shield. You can't exile. You can't play anything down. Pretty much all you can do is draw and attack. That's it. If you got your weapons down, great. But what I had was only 1 gun down. I attacked and I think I missed. So very strong. This card right here. Go ahead and place that right there. Add to our deck right here, because that's the deck. The dark mod for your weapons. Attach this mod to any equipped weapon. All energy damage, all shield damage with this weapon is now dark damage. So this will convert the shield damage into dark damage, which means it will hit life points. And so if the enemy runs out of shields, you can still hit for that amount, because the dark damage hits life. So we only can have one celestial sphere because it's a unique weapon. We'll come back to that to review it, and we're gonna have 4 of the evos to try and get to them. So we'll do 3 of these. The grenades, I'm gonna go ahead and put 4 in. It does 2 shield damage, 2 AoE damage, which it's another game mode. 3 kinetic. The regular grenade, roll dice, hit a 4 or 6, add 1 kinetic damage. The proximity mine, play this card face down, deal 2 dark damage when your hero has been targeted. So this will just add 2 dark damage on top of the 2 shield and the 3 kinetic damage. If you're V-triggered, any damage with this grenade curses the enemies and allows you to choose and discard a card from their hand and exile it. So if you just throw it down like a regular grenade, it does damage. If you use it at proximity mine, it does damage. Any damage with this grenade will curse the enemy, and it will only curse them for this round. As you throw it down, it curses them, but that allows you to choose and discard a card from their hand. Wait. Allows you to choose and discard a card from their hand and exile it. So you can choose a card from their hand and you will discard it from their hand, but you will put it in their exile pile so they will not be able to use it. So we're gonna have 4 of those in the deck to just have 4 chances to deal that direct damage and take a card out of their hand and throw it in their exile pile. Just because we're dark, the dark side. Okay, let's do the Revo. We're gonna have 4 of these. This gun, listen, it's got 0 kinetic, okay, but don't bypass this. You look at it, 0 kinetic. Why do we need this gun?
Daddy,
1 sec. Yes.
Mommy need you.
Okay, tell her 1 sec, okay?
I need her.
Huh?
I need her.
Oh, go let her see. Go let her see. Go let her see. Okay. Don't let it fool you. This gun can put out some massive damage, okay? It's a 5 targeting at 0 kinetic, but it's got the ability revolving rounds. If you damage the target enemy, which you're going to damage by rolling the dice regardless, but you roll a 1 through a 6, add that to your kinetic damage with the red dice. So you're going to roll both dice. Oh, I'll show you right here. See? All right. You're going to roll both dice. 7. Let's see. Defense is 12, so your versus mirror match on Raskin. Defense is 12. Target is 5, and you hit a 7. Oh. Hit a 7. That's 12 right there. 5, 5, 10, 11, 12. Am I right on that? Yeah, I'm right. Okay. Don't judge me. So that deals damage to Raskin. And how much damage does it do? You're going to look at your red dice. So it will do 2 kinetic damage. Yeah, it's a handgun. Yes. What? It's a handgun. You don't expect it to do a lot of damage. But at least you targeted them, you hit them, you damaged them a little bit. 2 kinetic damage. Now, Boom, you rolled, you got the 6. Now it does 6 kinetic damage. So a 3-cost handgun dealing 6 damage every turn, and you got 2 of those out, it's 12 damage. And then you just add 2 targeting, and then you can add some more damage, not with the mods, but with this right here. Boom, 3 damage right there. 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 damage times 2, 18 damage every turn if you can hit. Add the 2 targeting, 7. It's crazy damage coming to your way. So yeah, we got 4 already. Putting 4 of these bad boys in the deck for sure. The Celestial Sphere. Sniper rifle, a unique weapon, meaning you can only have one on the deck. That's it. It is a 7 cost, targets for 7, and we can add 3 targeting, 6 targeting, and it's a 7 cost. So 12, no, I'm sorry, 6, 19 targeting. I actually don't think I've seen targeting that high yet. Let's look at this. The rapid targeting. If you miss the target enemy, you can attack the target enemy again. So if you miss him the first time, which you ain't gonna miss him if you have 9 targeting, so don't worry about that one. The trade-off: choose to take 2 kinetic damage to target again. Let's wait on that one. Overcharge. Add 1 kinetic damage for each die roll that exceeds the target's defense value. Okay, let's play a scenario here. We're gonna V-trigger, and what do we got here? Lightning reflexes. Okay. So we have 14 defense plus 1 defense for a total of 15 defense. I think that's the highest we can get him as of right now. So we have 7 targeting. Let's get this down. Wait a minute. Let me see if I'm right here. Okay. Because we got an underbarrel and we got a scope. The scope does 3 targeting. The underbarrel does 3 targeting. And we're already at 7 targeting. So let's zoom in here. 3, 3, 3, 3, and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I totally added that wrong. My bad. But 13 targeting, okay. And he's at 14, 15, 2 away from 13. So all you gotta do is roll that snake eyes and you hit him for a minimum of 5. Okay, but with this one it's -1 kinetic, so you'll hit him for 4 minimum every single time. But depending on what you actually roll, let's try it. An 8. Okay, well, add 1 kinetic damage for each die roll that exceeds the target's defense value. So we got an 8. We're targeting for 13. We need 2 more. So we exceed by 6. So we're going to minus the 1 from the bipod. So we have 4 plus 6 is 10. So the sniper rifle will do 10 damage. Okay? And then, say we got either life, because we got a lot of life on this guy, or some shields, take 2 more kinetic damage. Okay? So we just got some shields up right there. Got a lot of life. This is in game, so it's a little low. Boom. 1, 2. Take the shield. Rolling again. 5. Okay, it's not too crazy. So we see a 2 here. That's what we need to hit him. And we're exceeding by 3. We're gonna minus 1. So 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 damage done to him. And that's all we can do. Can only do it once. Can't keep going. But that's the Celestial Sphere for you. I like that because, let's see, by any chance you get that double 6. Okay, we're talking minus 1 for 4. That's minus 2 up here, so that's gonna be a total of 10 plus 4, 14 damage coming from the Celestial Sphere. Massive damage. I'm liking it. We're throwing this in the deck, and for these mods we're gonna add 3 each. You can have up to 4, but you don't want every card stacked on 4. This one you can attach to the sniper, but it's only 2 targeting, and the other 2 actually deal 3. So, but this one mainly is for the handgun, so you can attach this to the Revo. We're gonna go ahead and clone that for 3 as well. Okay. All right. Let's get this armor. Now we've seen most of these cards here on the bottom already. Seen these with the Veil and the Solaris deck. So this deflects all damage. So we're gonna, let's do 2 of these. This makes you and your opponent, your enemy, draw 3 cards. You can use this to try and deck them, make them take life, but you could also take your life too, so you don't want to deck. Let's do, we'll do 2 of those. The Reinforced Shield. Oh, we'll do 2 Rejuvenate. We want Rejuvenate. It only adds 1, but when Raskin, he's only 5. He doesn't actually gain any. He stays at 5. So we're gonna want this. Let's clone that for 4, just for a higher chance to pull it out, and then you can play it, and then all the other ones you can exile. Free exile. And then we're cloning this one 4, and I will explain. Tactical advantage. Choose one of your enemy's activated weapons with the cost of 4 or greater. Destroy 1 ammunition or energy cartridge card from their weapon, and then you can draw a card. So not only does this allow you to draw 4 cards throughout the match extra, you can take ammunition from your enemy's weapon 4 times. And the one reason why this is great to have in a Raskin deck is because if you V-trigger at the beginning of your turn, choose a card from your exile pile and activate it. You take 2 life. So anytime you get this card, just exile it. Get the energy early game. Once you're late game and you can afford to take 2 life points because you put superior strength on to add 10 life points, take the 2 life points away, pull it out of your exile pile, play it, take their ammunition, because most likely towards the end of the game they're not going to have the ammunition to be able to place down. If they do, they have to spend the resources on it and not something else. So we're putting 4 of those in the deck, and if you don't use them, it's 4 storage energy that you can use to play anything else. Free exile. That's what 3 of these will be, and either all 4 of these or a couple of them free exiles. And then 1 of these will be a free exile. You can exile these or play them depending on what you have in your hand. You don't try not to deck yourself. And you can play all of these because this will alleviate the damage coming in. So actually, where's my clone? Where's the heck? Why is it doing that? All right. So we're going to take 4 of these because that gives 4 opportunities to take no damage at all for a turn. The Saurus armor, we'll just add, we'll have 2 of those. So go and add those in. We're already at 42. It's not too bad. It's not great, but not too bad, because we still have 6 more cards that we want to potentially play in the deck. Once we figure out what we want, we'll go back through it and take some cards out here. So we have advanced targeting. Now, add 2 targeting to all activated ranged weapons for 2 turns. Remember, we have the Celestial Sphere up to 10 targeting, and all you needed to do was Snake Eyes. You play this down, that puts it at then we had it at what, 13 targeting. It's down here, 13. Yeah, so you add the 2 and that automatically makes this 15. And how much did we have here? 14 plus 1, 15. So if you roll a Snake Eyes, you're doing that damage right there. So anything you roll with the dice is pure damage. So you're going to want these in your deck. Why is it doing this? There's 2 already here. You know what? Let's just keep 2. We'll throw them in there. And there's 2 of these. We'll keep 2 of these as well. The Energy Barricade. This is a trap, actually. You play this card face down. After your hero has been targeted, add 2 defense for you and your allies for 2 turns. So it's actually a trap, but benefits you. And you add 2 defense. So when they target you, flip it over, add 2. So if they hit you by 1 or 2 and you play this trap card, they don't hit you because you pop that shield up, the energy barrier. So, I could say we want to do 4 of these, but we are getting a little tight, getting up there in the numbers. We put the 2 there. Omnet Energy. Now, this is a Rift card, so it stays in play. You play it face up. At the start of your turn, while Omnet Energy is activated, your hero takes 1 life damage and draws a card. And this is like forced. As long as you have it in play, you have to take 1 life to draw a card. So, that being said, I would say it is beneficial, but could not be beneficial at the same time. So, I would say we could let's add 2 of them, and that way it will just give us a better chance to be able to draw it. We can discard both of them, and then we can pull it out. We're going to take 2 life damage to pull it out, and then life damage to draw the cards. But you might not, because it might be at the bottom of the deck, you might not have to exile it and play it. But at least it gives you a higher chance to be able to play it, and doesn't put your deck up there high, but still gives you room to add something else. The Superior Strength. I don't think you need a lot of these. It adds 10 life points, but if they take it away, and I believe it's Veil that has it in the deck, right here, to choose an enemy's vitality and take it away. So most likely, I don't think your opponent's gonna have 3 or 4 of these. Only 2. I would say they probably have a max of 2 of these in the deck, because it's hard to put a lot of vitalities under your hero. It could be done, but I don't see them putting more than 2 of these in their decks. Could be wrong, and someone like Too Fluent will probably do it just because and see what happens. So I would say let's have 2 of these, because you put it under your hero and say they remove it, then you lose 10 life points as well. So for instance, say we added the 10 and we have it here under the hero, and they play this. Boom, they play that down. We lose 10 because we have to discard this, and we lose 10. So we only got 2. Okay. Say you have another one of these in here because you didn't want to use it yet. Well, no, don't do that, because you got to take 2 life points, and that would end the game. Don't do that. Okay. So if you exiled it, then that's too bad. You better try and hit them with everything you got before you got to do that. And hopefully you don't have the Omnet Energy sitting here, or else you're going to take life. So I'd have 2 in the deck, because if you have it where you can come across 2, they remove it, and you got another one in your deck or in your hand, you can add it right back and go right back up to 12, add the 10, and it got a little bit more life going on. So that way it doesn't, like I said, take up a lot of room in the deck, but at least gives you a better chance to get it in, get it played in the board, in the game. Sentinel rounds. Now, because you're a Sentinel, automatically put 4 of these in your deck and take away 4 ammunition that you were going to do. Okay, so this, I would say a good amount of ammunition is probably about 12. So put 4 of these in your deck and do 6 kinetic ammunition. And that way it still gives you 10, a little bit more room for something else, but the sentinel rounds add a kinetic and a shield damage, so it gives you damage and gives you up to 3 rounds with 1 card. So if you get these early on in the game and you have your guns down, you place them down, and the rest of your ammunition is pure energy. So if you got the ammunition, you can discard the ammunition, put these down, and you just add 2 extra damage to your weapons on top of all the other damage we've been saying that you can do. So I would definitely put 4 of these in your deck, so it gives you a better opportunity to pull them and be able to deal that damage. And last but not least, the final outcome. This card, as of right now, is one of my favorite cards. Art wise, color wise, I love it. You're gonna place this card face up, take 5 life damage, add 5 kinetic damage to each weapon you have activated until the end of your turn. So you're gonna place this down right here. Place this down right here. Take 5 life. Add 5 kinetic to your weapons. The Revo hitting for 6, and then hitting for 2. We're talking 7, and then another 5. The Revo hitting for 12, and then the Celestial Sphere, if you roll high, say you got the target down, I mean, it's the final outcome. You're dealing massive damage. So with this one, I'm gonna say we'll do 2, because if you come across it, you can discard it, or you can exile it, and at that point, by the end game, you're all set up. You're taking 2 life points to pull it out of your exile and play it down. I think you can say you're low. Okay, you got 3. Take 2, pull it out, final outcome. I mean, you're pretty much going to hit with every single weapon and take them out. You might take them out with just the Revo. You might take them out with your Parallax. Anything. You're just going to knock them out with the final outcome. So, put 2 of those in. When you come across them, exile them right away. Keep it in there, because you exile a card, any card you exile for Raskin, make sure you're exiling it with a plan, because as soon as that card is exiled, your enemy, I mean, after this they might, so I'm sorry, but it's exiled, they're gonna think it's out of play. Nothing can happen to it. So you throw these down, final outcome, nothing's coming. Boom, take 2 life, pull it out, throw it down, and you just deal 15 more damage on top of all the high damage that you're already dealing. So we're gonna get those added in. All right, this is actually a good size deck. This is right about where I like to be. So right now my IRL deck is 50, or more like 48, only because we don't have as many cards as we have on here, and I got 50 sleeves, so I try and keep it up to 50, which is pretty good. But with the more cards available, going up to 56 to 60, I think is a good range to be able to get through your deck and have enough to not deck and take life points in the process. So the total count, I believe, is 57, maybe 58. Maybe. No. 57. There we go. Just not because you're fee triggered. Or I think it's this one. 58, because it doesn't include the hero. Hero is not included in the actual deck. So either way, it's right under 60, and I think that's a good deck right there. Let's go ahead and review. My camera's in the way. Let me move that right quick. All right. So we have the Dark Energy Shift, which is going to curse your enemy for 2 turns, exile a card from their discard pile. So from their discard pile, just take an exile it. Doesn't really do much, but it adds a card to the exile pile for you to use later to deal damage. Search a card from your exile pile and place it on the top of your deck. So again, this is another opportunity to use the final outcome. You can search for a card in there, pull it, put it on top of your deck, so your next turn when you pull it, you can play it. But keep in mind, doing it that way, you have to use the storage energy to be able to play it. And doing it from the Raskin's ability, you can play it for free. So keep that in mind. Maybe you can pull a card out each time, put it there, take it and exile it to get that free energy. You know, you never know. The energy mod just adds 3 damage to your weapon. I would suggest don't put this on the Celestial Sphere, put it on the Revo, because in this deck, for what we have available, the Revo only has 1 mod, so you add this one to up the damage on that a little bit. And any shield damage becomes dark damage, so it will hit your life points. The grenade, this direct damage, and it curses the enemy just for that turn, so you can do the exiling and discard and all that jazz. 4 times for direct damage. Yeah, just chuck those grenades at them. Keep that dark on them. We got the Revo. We got 4 of these to potentially deal some massive damage at a low cost. The Celestial Sphere. It's a sniper rifle. We know how Raskin likes sniper rifles. He's got one himself. Just massive damage. I mean, we're building this to put out massive damage and take life. Our life. Not completely down to 0, but yeah. The bipod to add the 3 targeting to the Celestial Sphere. You got the orbital scope to add the 3 targeting to the Celestial Sphere. You got the Phoenix Eye to add the 2 targeting to the Revo. You got the Solaris Armor just to kind of alleviate the damage coming in a little bit, so you're not taking everything from your opponent. The Orbital Shield to completely wipe out damage. We're taking 4 of those just to give us 4 opportunities to be able to hold our life point as much as possible, so we can use it to be able to deal that massive damage. A couple energy summons just to kind of pull in a couple more cards in our hand if we need it. but it also gives the enemy a couple cards. But if you notice they are high in their hand, give them the cards to be able to deck them and take their life. The reinforced shield just takes away 2 shield damage coming into us. So we, what's the word? Remove 2 shield damage. They deal 2 shield damage, then they deal no damage because we're taking away 2 of it. Rejuvenate. We got 4 of these to give the option to be able to play this one time. All you need is play it once, but you put in 4 of them to get it as fast as you can to put it on there, so Raskin can rejuvenate 6 shield because he's only at 5. So it gives us the highest chance possible to rejuvenate as much as we can. Tactical advantage. This, again, late game, if you got to exile, you can pull it out late game, play it for free. It's a 5 energy cost. It's pretty high up there, so being able to play it for free at 2 life points, I think is pretty good. Yes.
You can show it in the back or show it in the back room.
Yeah, give me a minute.
Daddy, I don't want to leave.
Go.
There are 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's not hard.
Mm-mm.
Because I was waiting so long.
Mm-hmm. Not bad. If you can save these for late game, or like I said, exile them and pull them out late game, take the ammo away from your enemies, most likely they're not going to be able to place the ammo down late game to be able to target you. So that could be game changing for sure. Advanced targeting adds 2 targeting. Again, we went over the Celestial Sphere. We're already targeting for 13. You add 2 more. I mean, going to Veil, if you're versing Veil, listen, I'm a huge Veil guy, but this right here, this guy's a Veil killer. Okay, I'm gonna tell you that right now. I can see me definitely playing Raskin a lot, and Veil's still my boy though. Don't get that wrong. Yes. Yeah, Veil's still my boy, so don't get that twisted. But Raskin is going to deal a lot of damage, and trust me, I will find a way for Veil to come out on top. But yeah, this, I mean, the 13 targeting to Veil is already 13 above his, so you're hitting Veil without even rolling the dice. You're hitting them for 5 or for 4 because you got a -1 target, -1 kinetic. So you're already hitting Veil for 4 damage, period, without even rolling dice. That's dirty. Okay, add this on top of it and then roll the dice. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if Veil can take it. We're gonna find out. But as of right now, I don't know. So you got 2 of those to play. Again, if you exile them, you can pull them out. The Raskin's hero ability is a little nasty, okay? But you're taking 2 life, so don't get it wrong that it's like overpowered, because trust me, you don't want to take life every single time. Energy barricade. We got a couple of these in there to be able to, if the enemy targets you and they just hit you, you play this down, pretty much you make them have to target you for 2 more than what they usually target you for, because you're adding that defense. got a couple of those. The Omni Energy. This card definitely, I like this card because you get to draw a card, but you got to take 1 life. So make sure you play this wisely, because if you play it down, it's a rift card. It stays out for the rest of the game, and you are obligated to take the life and take the card. So keep that in mind. But it could be beneficial if you do it early game. If you play it early game, you grab those cards, and I'm sorry, so sorry. You can grab those cards and you can build up quicker to be able to hit that final